and welcome to the Wholeness Wisdom Podcast. My name is Erin, and I am the Wholeness Wisdom Coach. So this is the first episode of this podcast, and the purpose of this podcast is to share with others who are limited in their lives, relationships, or struggling with habits, or an incomplete sense of their life, a sense of lack, to offer people straightforward tools for awakening from this sense of lack or persistent patterns of the ego. I'm a trained and certified practitioner of somatic and neuro-linguistic programming tools, which are alternative methods of therapy. These alternative methods of therapy have been used around the world for about 40 years, and the latest method that I offer is called wholeness work. These methods that I offer professionally to people one-on-one and in groups were developed by a woman named Connie Ray Andreas, who is the mother of neuro-linguistic programming. She's helped people for many, many years around the world with problems that just don't change through other types of therapy. So with this series, I hope to provide people who are limited in their lives with these straightforward tools for awakening from the sense of lack to know who they really are. Exploring these methods that I offer, calling on my experience as a coach and trainer while providing these tools, listeners can use them to pursue their own awakening. So in this first episode in my series called A New Start, this is to introduce a little bit about my explorations before finding the direct path out of separateness in my life before I was trained in guiding others. So this podcast is about living free from the ego, and here I'd like to just introduce why I share this and how, having tried everything else for many years, I've gotten to this point where I can share it with you. So I'm sharing through an examination of science, physics, philosophy, and actual practical exercises how to use your own observations, your own conclusions to directly experience yourself as free from all conditioning. And the reason I can say this is possible is because I've experienced it and shared it with many people. So before I found the wholeness work or the direct path to the freedom from ego and ignorance, I spent about 12 years looking for my own peace in the texts of Buddhism, Zen, Taoism, Hinduism, the teachings of Jesus, Christianity, self-help groups, yoga, neuroscience-based paths, and many, many, many books. In the end, I found total unwavering freedom, but before I found that, I was suffering deeply with addiction, alcohol. Every relationship was fearful and dishonest and unstable. And I also suffered with an eating disorder for about 15 years. So I did find total unwavering freedom from all of those issues and habits, but not through any of those spiritual learnings or books. I offer here what ended my search completely. So for the last few years, I've taught this program of wholeness work while also blending neuro-linguistic methods with insights of the Advaitic Vedantic tradition. I've seen people across gender, nationality, race, class, all types of backgrounds find this combination profound and life-changing for them too. Because this is ultimately about happiness, the reason we do anything in our lives is for happiness. I just want to express what I mean when I say happiness, because that word can be a little ambiguous or different for everyone. So to clarify what I mean when I use this word happiness now, I'm talking about the end of desire. A baby cries for food when she is hungry to achieve an end to the hunger. The end of the hunger is happiness. When we scroll on social media, we are seeking entertainment, color, stimulation, information that ends the desire for this scrolling. And that is happiness, the end of the desire. Publishing a report that has had a deadline for many months or days generates the absence of the deadline, a completion that is happiness. And also, the embrace of a loved one ends the desire to be felt and connected. Happiness. Even if a pursuit lasts a lifetime, such as the pursuit for spiritual enlightenment or a legacy, children extending beyond our death, the pursuit in itself has a goal of happiness once it is known to be achieved. On the contrary, if we were to really know that to attain what we're attempting would result in misery, would we want it to be completed? Imagine what you desire most in life, and that it is free for the taking for you right now. The catch is that it comes with lifelong unhappiness. Would you still want it? So, self-help programs present tools to fix the problem of whatever is going on emotionally or psychologically in a person's life. The guide that this podcast is attempting to offer is a way of ending desire for happiness through any experience, through any object, material possession, goal, relationship, career. I'm offering a way to end desire to attain happiness through false methods, false attainments of happiness, because as the Buddha said, before we go, there will be a time when we recognize losing everything we've ever had, everything we've ever loved or cherished will be gone before that moment of death. So I want to offer practices in this podcast for daily life that assist in not self-help for a problem in your life, but a shift in the belief of what happiness is that lands at yourself, a path that lands at yourself. And when we actually experience ourselves without conditioning or without a false sense of lack, we find ourselves the source of peace, freedom, and wholeness. So thank you for joining me on this first episode of the Wholeness Wisdom Podcast, A New Start. And I call this A New Start because if you're ready to explore limitations in your own life, a sense of lack where you feel if you just had certain situations line up just the right way, things would be the way you want them to be. If that's not working for you anymore, then I'm here for you to explore a new start, a new way of approaching life with free tools and resources to really explore yourself, to have an intimacy with yourself that is the source of happiness in life. And I hope to hear from you and also share with you more soon. Bye.